May the 19th would have marked the 100th birthday of Malcolm X. Now, there are people more eloquent and better qualified than me to speak about Malcolm X. What I want to share with you today is a personal journey I've had with the Spike Lee epic movie that came out in the early 90s, starring Denzel Washington in the title role as Malcolm X. That movie had a profound impact on me, has had a profound impact on me, and continues to have a profound impact on me. I first saw it in the cinema. I actually saw it as part of a school trip. We had a teacher at my secondary school, at my high school, called Mr. Ward. He was an art teacher and a drama teacher. And he took us, a few of us, on a school trip to the cinema to see Malcolm X. I had never seen, bear in mind that I grew up, and up until those formative teenage years, I'd grown up as a TV addict. So I used to stay up late at night, watch movies on TV, movies like The Godfather, The Exorcist, stuff like that, Bruce Lee movies. So I was really into movies. But I had never seen a film like Malcolm X, and I had never had an experience in the cinema like the one when I saw Malcolm X when it came out in the cinema. Oh my God, I that night that we went as a school trip to see it was completely profound, and I went home in a daze, with my jaw open and trying to process what I had just seen. I'd never seen an American film portray those things on screen like that Spike Lee movie, Malcolm X. Of course, the things that stand out towards the end of the film, when he goes to visit Egypt and when he goes to visit Mecca and does the pilgrimage. But there are so many standout moments in that film. Of course, it's a film subsequently in the intervening years that I've seen probably over 100 times. I mean, I know every line. I know every line of the film off by heart. And there are so many standout moments that no matter how many times I watch the film, they always take my breath away. As I said, the scenes when Malcolm X goes to visit Cairo, and when he goes to visit Mecca and does the pilgrimage. The scene at the end where he's assassinated. The scenes in the prison where Brother Baines first starts to preach to him. All epically made, epically directed, epically shot, epically acted. Every single actor in that movie, no matter how big or small their role, gave their heart and soul into it, and it's what makes it such an epic film. And I think it's not shown enough or spoken about enough. More people should see it. More people should speak about it, debate it, and discuss its merits. The other scenes, of course, so many standout scenes, but the scene that always gets me for its sheer epic scale, and that always has me in awe. And bear in mind, this is a film full of scenes that have you in awe. Nearly every single scene has you in awe. But the scene that has me in the most awe is the scene where they go to the police station and they say, we want to see Brother Johnson. And then they see that the police have abused and beaten up Brother Johnson. And he says, "Get an ambulance now!" And then they go from the police station and go to the hospital. And the guy at the police station says, "That's it, he's being taken to hospital, disperse this mob." And he goes, "No, I'm not satisfied." To the hospital. And then they start marching from the police station to the hospital. And when they start marching, other people start to join the march. And the musical score for the part of that movie is absolutely awe-inspiring. It makes you want to get up and start marching. And it has this musical score. Dun, 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 dun. Excuse my lack of tonality. And that musical score builds up, and they march from the police station to the hospital. And they stand outside the hospital to make sure that Brother Johnson gets the correct medical care. And as they're standing there, this police car turns up, and out of it comes a fantastic actor that I've always loved, Peter Boyle, who played the role of the Frankenstein's monster in Young Frankenstein. Peter Boyle comes out, and he's playing the police captain, and he marches over, and he says to Malcolm X, "Disperse this crowd," and he goes, "Not until we make sure that Brother Johnson is receiving the correct medical care." And that whole sequence, with the march from the police station to the hospital and the conversation with the police captain at the hospital, absolutely takes my breath away every single time I see it. Doesn't matter how many times I see that scene, it just leaves my jaw on the floor. And it's incredible when the doctor comes out and says, "Brother Johnson is going to be fine." And the police captain, Peter Ball, says, "Okay, now you know he's going to be fine. Disperse this crowd." And Malcolm X, without saying a word, just... And with that gesture, his followers move out. And the police captain is thinking, what the hell is going on here? Who is this guy? And then the camera comes into his face for a close-up. And he says, "That's too much power for one man to have." And it's just a profound scene. And that scene obviously is prophetic for what happens later on in the film. So the film has had a profound impact on me. I never miss a chance to watch it, no matter how many times I've seen it before. I can quote the dialogue line for line. And that scene for me is the standout scene in a film full of standout scenes. And what I want to say is, I've never had the chance, I would love the chance to, as an actor, to work with Denzel Washington and Spike Lee. They're heroes of mine in the filmmaking and acting world. But apart from that, even if they never did any other thing ever again, that legacy they've left with Malcolm X will speak for generations and generations. In 100 years' time, people will still be watching that film and being affected by it. And this is the impact that you can have. This is what I want to say to anybody who's watching this. You might be creating a piece of art, or creating a piece of cinema, or writing a novel, or a piece of literature, or making some form of video content. You don't know who's watching it, and who's being impacted by it, and who's being inspired by it. So go ahead and do it. Don't give up. You know, when Spike Lee and Denzel Washington were making Malcolm X, they didn't think that little old me over in England as a teenager would be watching that and profoundly impacted by it. But I was. And so anybody who can contribute to the world in that way, whether it's through a piece of video content you're making, or a novel you're writing, or a piece of literature, or an article you're writing, or a magazine editorial you're doing, or a painting that you're painting, or whatever it is, do it, because you don't know, there might be somebody on the other side of the world who sees it and is impacted by it in a positive way and is inspired by it. So yeah, Malcolm X would have turned 100 on May the 19th. What a man, and what a film by Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. Thank you, guys.